Hi everybody, it's Dr. Magnifico. It should be Sunday with Serafina, but it's Sunday in the car. I just left the clinic. We had an older dog who we haven't seen in many years come in today. He came in for a quality of life discussion. The dog has a toy in its mouth and he's wagging his tail, and he was so happy to see anybody and everybody who came up to him to say hello. And after a brief discussion, the owner said, well, I'm really here to euthanize him, and I've made up my mind, and my family has said goodbye, and that's what we're going to do. And there was no discussion outside of that. We offered pain meds for free because this is an older dog, so we have some osteoarthritis. So we offered to give the pain meds, like send him home with some pain meds. Let's see how you do in a couple days, and then we'll go from there. Nothing should die without the opportunity to have pain meds, right? We all should be given the opportunity to feel better before we throw in the towel. He didn't want to do that. We offered to have him signed over because we have a couple of clients who have in the past and want to again in the future take these older dogs who may not have many years ahead of them but are still wonderful, joyful members of the family. We offered that, and we offered to sign the dog over, and he said no, he would not sign the dog over because of two reasons. His family had already said goodbye and they had made up their mind, and he did not want to imagine this dog with anybody else, which to me sounds like I don't want to feel like a douchebag because somebody else is kinder and nicer than I am, or I'm worried that they're going to fall into the wrong hands. To which I would say, well, you can foster, you can visit. These are open-ended adoptions, and you can spend time with them. But there are other people out there who don't mind taking care of an elderly dog or somebody who has difficulty in mobility. And in a lot of cases, with a little bit of pain meds, those difficulties in mobility go away. There was more talk about this dog soils himself and can't get up, and the answer to that is, well, let's see if the pain meds help them feel better so they can get up and walk around. And it became this rather, I'm standing my ground and I'm on the other side of the fence standing my ground. And I was called in to go speak to him, and I said, I have to stand by my staff. If my staff does not feel like this is the right decision, then I am going to honor that. We have a terrible problem with suicide and mental health in this profession, and I am not going to force anyone to do anything that they don't want to do. So right now, as it stands, that dog went home with pain meds. There is certainly the possibility that he's going to drop that dog off the shelter tomorrow or go to the ER tonight and just say, I want to put my dog to sleep, and probably no one would argue. But it's this interesting dilemma. You know, how much do you listen to your heart, and do you try to do something for that pet? Like all of us came here because we care about pets and we want to do something, and I firmly believe that everybody deserves the opportunity of pain management, even if I have to pay for it. Do I wonder or worry about this dog being brought to someone's backyard and shot in the head? That happened to me last week. Someone told me they were not going to bring their pet back. They were just going to shoot it in their backyard. Would I feel much better about putting a catheter in this dog and telling this dog that I love them and I'm sorry versus having them shot in the backyard? Yeah. And now I'm sitting here with my husband and we're discussing the dilemma of the day. And he said, what would you do? And I said, I probably would have euthanized that dog. At the end of the day, if somebody doesn't care enough about their dog to provide pain meds or not offer them a chance of a life with somebody else, they are going to get rid of their dog. Like, that's what happens. If you don't love your dog anymore, I'm not going to convince him to love him. And I would rather have him be here with me and give him a peaceful, safe, humane ending than wonder what's going to happen when he goes home. So that's the dilemma. So when you ask yourself why the mental health problem is so bad, it's because of things like that. Even when you try to do something good, you're going to be met with abrasive, difficult dilemmas. Do I think this guy cares about his dog? Well, yeah, he wouldn't have brought it to us if he didn't. Do I think he probably could do more for his dog? Absolutely, but that's because I have 20 years of being a veterinarian, and I know that in a lot of cases we can get these guys feeling better. Does it change the fact that this guy has come to a place where he is ready to get rid of his dog, and he is going to get rid of his dog if that's what he wants to do? Not only that, but I run a business, and the last thing that I want is for him to go home and say those people care more about themselves than they care about me and my dog, which is a valid point. So there's the whole dilemma. What do you do? Do you stand by the principles that got you to the place where you are? Do you look in those eyes and that dog wagging its tail, holding its toy, so happy to see you, and say, I'm sorry, but no one loves you as much as you deserve? Or do you just hope that maybe if you extend an olive branch, it will be met with kindness and compassion, and maybe he'll come back in a couple of days and say, my dog's feeling so much better, and thank you for talking to me and making a very difficult conversation. I guess that's the only thing I'm left with. All right, let me know your thoughts.